Here I am wishing runners to get 4 dips into Turtle Rock when I could have been wishing them 5 all along. But here we go, we're starting. That's a good question, Uncle. Why do they only have 1 bed? Oh, they're not going to have to do a farm for bombs, at least they got plenty now.
Well, that's convenient. They're going to have 2 weapons.
Unless the Uncle gives them even more bombs, which would be hilarious.
Uncle can't give them more bombs. That was the 10 bombs.
Oh yeah. There's been so many changes to the logic as of late, like for this version, that even I get a little confused sometimes. Oh dear, cane weapon start.
Well, at least they have bombs.
Admittedly, the cane is not that bad. It does fighter sword damage, it makes you invincible, but it guzzles magic like it's going out of style. And the game's beginning is a lot different when you have to, you know, manage resources.
Something we are definitely not used to in the standard escape sequence.
It looks like both runners are keeping up with each other no problem. The escape sequence is pretty easy, honestly. The downside with the standard escape sequence is there isn't too much to talk about at the beginning unless something interesting is in one of these chests.
So far, the only interesting find was 10 bombs and Uncle giving them 2 weapons.
Yeah, so as I said at the start, they won't need to farm for bombs to do the Kakariko sweep. Or purchase any.
Very helpful.
So far, it's looking pretty standard.
And so far, it's looking like SirBeaterOfArse is pretty happy he's got those bombs.
And yet, he has not used a single one. Probably because he hasn't
He's about
had need to.
He's running out.
A little bit of extra life never hurts in randomizers. More health means less chance of setbacks. So, since there's not too much to talk about at this part of the game, how is everyone tonight? I hope everyone's been watching all these exciting races that have happened so far. Yes, I agree. This tournament has been great so far. Like, there's no way to catch all the matches that have been going on, unfortunately, but the ones I've caught have been incredible to witness.
It's impossible to catch them all. We have 128 a week.
No more from that. 256 a week.
Oh yeah, 256 a week. My bad. So that's 512 hours a week. There's only 168 hours a week.
Yeah, unfortunately, not all the races can be restreamed either, but it's well over half the matches being restreamed. And Dawn picking up the shield there, and SirBeaterOfArse doing the same. Not the most useful item, but any item's useful to find in the end.
Gotta give credit where credit is due. We would not be able to run this tournament without all the volunteers.
That is true. That is definitely true. Oh, the bow and a cape and a fire. What is this seed? It just gave them 3 good items.
What are we dealing with here?
Well, after the last seed I seen, that was the hell one. I guess 2 players in the tournament deserve a break.
Or is this really a break?
This could be just getting them in a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Still, that gives them plenty of initial options to work with. Like, if they can find the lamp, they could go clear out Eastern. If they can find the lamp. Oh,
Well, they have a fire rod, so that sequence break isn't going to be that hard considering they can just fire the fire rod to their left and they light a torch.
That is true. Actually, is that considered like part of the logic? Like if you get the fire rod, and if
it's not in the logic if you get the fire rod because you still need a light cone. If you don't have a light cone, it's not in the logic. Meaning it's a very easy sequence break if you want to do that room, because you just fire the fire rod to a place you already know where it is based on your starting position. Nonetheless, it's still a sequence break.
There's just so many things to consider with the logic, and sometimes it can be hard to go, is this part of logic? Is it not? And it's still fun to see what works as well. No. Well, the Aga 1 Dream just took a blow there that looked like a red rupee there. But they may still have to face Aghanim 1, simply because it could be their only access to the Dark World.
All depends on what we find first. Sword, mitts, or hammer.
Indeed. I'm kind of hoping for a sword. I'm not a big fan of swordless. And these
well, if
runners
we find
need
sword, it's Aga time. Just remember, sword means Aga in this case.
Exactly. But also, it's easier to fight in general with the sword than most of the other weapons, really.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not very good with the hammer.
I will not talk about swordless right now, but I have a lot to say about it. This isn't swordless.
Oh yeah, that seed I mentioned also was swordless up until, like, the very end, basically.
Fun.
It just seems like the randomizer likes to punish players sometimes. Oh.
V-Torp!
And a Quake and another heart. Kakariko's looking quite good so far. For once. Oh, the book? What the heck is this seed?
What is this?
Have you seen a seed this generous before?
Well, we have desert access unless it's boots locked.
You know, I really hope they go to desert because I want to see if it's boot locked now. Like, I really want to see if it's boot locked. These are the fun seeds where it just gives them a nice steady flow of items that we can talk about and wish that
Watch
we
him
were
get
the ones
boots within
playing.
5 minutes.
that was the Sanctart there. And,
Hook shot! What is this scene?
So they... Wow. Once they get Death Mountain access, they could just do it all in one go.
What the heck is this scene?
Why couldn't we get these seeds when it's our turn to race?
I don't know.
You know, we get the silly ones that give a sword like an hour in instead. So they were able to... They're going to be able to sweep through all of Kakariko on the first trip, which is a plus. They still had plenty of bombs to work with for whatever purpose, too.
They can also stock up on bombs. They have unlimited now.
Yeah, at this point, there isn't too many necessary bomb uses. Unfortunately, we won't be coming back to the library for 5 rupees. Not quite worth it to come back for.
I have a feeling this seed is going to have a boots lock soon.
Me too. Just the way it's going, it just has to have something to slow their progress. Nothing at the race game. Looks like Dawn will likely be going through the swamp area, I would suspect. But them finding so many cool items this early on makes you just wonder. The odds of bad items are going up each time they find something good.
The thing is, whenever they find a new item, they also get more locations, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, like they could get caught up in thinking about the possibilities. I think SirBeaterOfArse is doing the Wilhelm room glitch to get some extra finances to work with. I bet he's probably planning on maybe fake flippering up to Zora.
I'm honestly hoping for a life lesson. I don't want this to be a jet seed.
So far, this is making that jet seed look slow. Mini Moldorm Cave holds a lot of promise too, with 5 items in it.
Please don't tell me Mini Moldorm Cave is gonna have sword gloves and boots.
Okay, I've never seen a mini Moldorm do that before getting stuck in the wall. Like, that's new.
Yeah, that's interesting. But please don't tell me it has those items, because if it has any of those, we're going way too fast.
Heart container, arrow expansion, heart container, and piece of heart and hammer. Okay.
Why?
I think the Aga 1 dream is dead. Like, it seems very dead now. Then again, Moon Pearl could be on Pyramid or something silly like that, so...
Yeah, we still don't have pyramid access.
Oh, I just noticed that SirBeaterOfArse has the flippers. Like, I blinked and missed him getting it. Like,
Where were the flippers?
Can chat help us out?
He's also got Merle.
It's like, we were so busy mourning the death of the Agawon dream that we missed him getting. Oh, Salt Shaker had him. That's always handy.
Oh my.
I can't pronounce that guy's name, so he's Salt Shaker. And it looks like Dawn's heading that way too, so they'll have the same items very shortly.
What is this seed?
I'm in shock at this seed. You just can't make this sort of seed up.
You have seeds that just try to slow down the runners at any given point by hindering them on where they can go, and then you have this where the possibilities are basically endless.
Ah, they were right next to each other too. That's it, and it seems like SirBeaterOfArse has a little bit of a lead at the moment.
It also looks like he's probably going to sequence break Armos.
Yeah, I've seen him run a number of times. I believe he knows the dark rooms.
Yep.
I don't. I get lost and die.
I can do this dark room with the fire rod.
The fire rod makes everything easy.
Yeah, just look to the right, fire, or look to the left, fire, and he got fire. Here you just bang your sword on the wall.
Yeah. This side of dark rooms, I can do. It's very easy to keep track of where you are. Even without a sword.
Yep. Because everything in that room is sound cues.
One of the few rooms where it really is sound cue based. Well, I know I've said it many times, but this seed just continues to amaze. I don't even know what crystal this place is. It's just, there is one.
Or you can go for kamikaze strats. That works too.
Sometimes you just have to run into things and hope for the best. You know, SirBeaterOfArse is definitely preparing for a trip up to Zora. Wow, we're not even 20 minutes in. Both players have flippers, Moon Pearl, and I imagine SirBeaterOfArse will find the hammer sooner or later. Like, that's our Dark World access almost, isn't it? They just need one of those handy mitt things. Which,
right
of
now,
course, could be on the pyramid.
The most trolly thing I can think of is if something was boots locked in desert.
Aww. Those seeds make me unhappy sometimes.
Yeah, but that's the only real thing I can think of right now that would really upset the runners.
Assuming they just don't find the boots somewhere, since the seed has been a little generous to them. Looks like SirBeaterOfArse wasn't able to get the quick kill on Armos, but it still falls pretty easily. "19 minutes in, and someone has a crystal. Like, it's incredible. And they're also in good shape health-wise, really, for this point. But yeah, like, they may be doing the same actions, but there is differences in their strategies. Like, it looks like SirBeaterOfArse is likely going to bank on Zora having something, because Dawn hasn't farmed up many rupees. Looks like Dawn is having a little trouble on Armos there, but that they have him down too.
You think either of our runners are going to sequence break Pod?
They could, but I don't think they will. The dark rooms there are a little trickier.
Well, let's clarify. The last dark room with the turtles is the trickiest.
Hell, even with a lantern, it's annoying.
The dark maze isn't that bad. The dark basement isn't that bad. I hate the room with the turtles.
Oh yeah, they hit like a truck. You need to hit them twice, once with the hammer at least, to kill them. And they have weird movement patterns. I think we'll know if Desert is bootlocked very shortly, at least.
First, let's see what Aegina has.
Yes, we've been waiting 22 whole minutes to see if Desert is bootlocked. Unfortunately, the Desert Hermit is a little poor today, and he's more poorer now.
I'm going to be kind of disappointed if Desert isn't bootlocked, because then this is going to be way too quick of a seed.
I know, right? Like, I figured I'd be commentating like an hour and a half or so, not like 40 minutes the way this is going. And of course, Desert is a green pendant according to our handy trackers down there. It could be sometimes a risk to complete a pendant dungeon, but sometimes you just need the green pendant for something. But not only are they finding lots of items, the game is being real. Oh, there's the silvers.
Silvers.
No silverless fight for us today. Unless they forget the silvers exist.
He's not even checking the boots lock.
Wow, that's just rude. Like, we want them to check for boots locking. Admittedly, that could be a gamble. Like, it might not be boots locked and a progression item is somewhere in there. We could have vanilla gloves for whatever reason.
Well, what else can they get in there right now?
Well, if it's not boots locked... Oh, wait. You're right, they can't get anything. It has to be boot locked, because where are they going to get another key? There must be a key on Torch if...
Yeah, because all 4 other item locations are locked by keys, except boots lock.
Just goes to show you what the logic can do sometimes.
Zora with the glove. Are you kidding me? What is this seed?
Part of me wishes commentators had like a face cam or something. You'd see me face palming right about now at this seed. On second thought, a face cam would be kind of scary, so maybe not.
You'd see me laughing hysterically, like, "Oh my god, what am I watching right now?"
After the hell seed I seen the other day, this one's like a walk in the park. They get a nice, relaxing, fun time.
But seriously, what the hell is this scene?
Has anyone in chat seen a seed this generous playing rando before?
Berry in a bottle.
Hey, that's a good safety item to acquire for nothing.
Always good, especially when, you know, you don't have the bug net.
Uh-oh. Dawn's about to realize that they're gonna need some more finances. It looks like SirBeaterOfArse is keeping up with the sequence breaking there. And yet, Geeky Fried Rice, I too am scared of generous seeds. There'll always be that one item hidden in a really bizarre location. My first ever seed, boots were in Turtle Rock in a chest that I didn't know about because I was new to Randomizer.
It's always good to have a map up if you don't know all the item locations.
Yeah, my second run through, however, like I had like 6 or 7 browser tabs open with various dungeon maps. Good times, good times. Yeah, that would be a bad thing. Lamp being in Mire. My most recent race actually had Lamp and Mire. And chat, that's a mean possibility. We're not being mean to these runners because this seed is undoubtedly cursed and will hit them eventually with something bizarre.
We'll see what it is eventually. Right now, let's just watch the fireworks.
At least this is a particularly speedy race. Red boomerang. Oddly enough, the red boomerang is not that useful compared to the blue one. The blue one might not go as far, but that just gives it a little bit more maneuverability to do various things.
I mean, come on. What's the magical boomerang good for anyway? I mean, it is the magical boomerang, but what use is it when you're throwing it so far away you can't control where it's going? Cane of Samaria? Really?
Really? What is this seed? So, we're coming up on 30 minutes. They have multiple progression items. The game is blown wide open. And SirBeaterOfArse is technically not even supposed to be on Death Mountain. They sequence broke up here. Of course, if they do find the lamp up here, that means that Flute is somewhere really accessible, at least.
Either that or Flute is just somewhere that isn't locked by the items on Death Mountain, like Cane of Samaria and Powder. Seriously, what the heck is going on here?
I don't know. This is like I've seen some kind of speedy seeds before, but this one might be the fastest that I've ever seen by a wide margin.
We're getting a tablet check. It's
Nope.
garbage.
The ancients decided putting some money into an ancient stone tablet was the right move.
Good old garbage.
And here we are in the Tower of Hera. Maybe Trolldor must slow them down with a few knockdowns. I just can't believe this scene.
Watch how Hera is absolute total garbage.
Do they even need anything else at this point? Oh, don't answer that. I know they need a few items. I think Don's going to check Hype Cave. And also,
I mean, they
nice
only need
convenient crystal check.
6 more items for go mode.
I like how they did wildly divergent routes here. Like, it's always nice to see runners take 2 different approaches.
I'm sorry, 5 more items. They need 5 more items for go mode.
Yes, they'll need the ice rod.
Oh wait, yes, 6 items. Ice rod, lantern, mirror, flute, master sword.
I actually kind of blinked and didn't quite see what Swamp Palace was. Because if Swamp's like a... I guess Swamp can't... Is Swamp a pendant? I missed it, unfortunately. Oh yeah, they'll need a sword. Like, no matter what. And they'll have to find 2 sword locations, actually, because the fighter's sword can't even dent Ganon. But it's weird to be going, oh, they need 5 or 6 more items for go mode this early in. Also, looks like Misery Mire is Crystal 6. There's honestly with with all the crystals being later dungeons for like Fat Fairy access, I doubt she'll have anything interesting. Right, because they already found all the interesting items. Like, I just can't believe this.
Fat Fairy can't have anything interesting.
Can't.
It can have mirror, that's it.
That would be a weird chain of progression. Like,
The only thing it can have is mirror. Or a sword.
that would be a very weird progression change or progression sequence that this seed honestly will throw. Just because it can.
It can't have ice rod, or lamp, or flute, or fighter sword. It can have the other 2 items, which are master sword and mirror.
Ah, so very low chance of progression, basically.
Could also have boots in theory.
It is possible for a seed just to not need boots for whatever reason.
Yeah, most seeds actually don't need boots.
But they're nice to get because going fast is fun. It is a race after all. I want to commentate, but just the shock of this seed. makes it hard to at times.
There's not really much to theorize except where are our runners going next.
And in this case, it's pretty obvious for both of them.
I was wrong. Fat Fairy can't have mirror.
Doesn't work into the logic.
I'm thinking it out. No, it's still possible.
And it can still have a sword upgrade, just can't. It won't be the first sword they find.
Yeah, it's still possible for it to have mirror. My mistake.
Yeah,
So far, I haven't since broken anything mirror useful.
I kind of want to see that just so we have some weird progression.
Yeah, I don't want this to be a seed that ends in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Would be convenient.
It would be, but I don't want it that way.
I know, right?
Gives me more time until my next race, but I don't want it that way.
On the upside, it would be interesting and be like
There's the bug net.
a seed that ends in 1 hour and 10 minutes is probably going to be a PB for at least one of the runners, probably both of them.
Found the useless item of the bug net.
That's not useless. You get to do swag strats on Aghanim.
Yeah, but logically, swag strats don't happen in standard mode.
You think they...
It's impossible for swag strats to happen because Aga 1 you need a sword, and
Not
Aga
necessarily.
2 if you don't have a sword.
You could use the magic cape to get into Aga 1.
Aga 1?
Yeah. You can use magic cape to walk right through the magic barrier. Oh yeah.
There's a curtain.
I forgot about that.
And Aga 2, there's 3 dungeons that require the sword, and other dungeons that require the hammer that don't require the sword. So no matter what, you're going to have either the sword or hammer when you fight Aga 2. I know that for a fact. I forced Aga 2 with hammer in a plan, though. Have you ever seen Aga 2 with the hammer?
It is not a fun time, good sir.
It's a disaster. The only way to beat Aga 2 with the hammer is to shuffle the balls around so that you can get them out of phase and hit the one that goes right in phase at him. This way you can dodge the other 2 because you have a hammer.
You know, it's looking like both runners are making pretty good progress. How couldn't they with this wide selection of items at their disposal? The only downside for SirBeaterOfArse is he has yet to find the silvers, so King Halmasar will take a little bit longer to kill because of that.
Missed the bomb.
Wow. I didn't know it could actually get stuck that way on the wall either.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
It's not too often you get to learn 2 things in one seed. But yeah, SirBeaterOfArse is a pretty experienced racer, so he'll likely have no trouble with the dark rooms that he'll have to go through.
We're probably going to see a pod full clear here.
Which would be a sequence break because of the lack of that handy lamp thingy.
So far, the only sequence broken item is either lamp or flute.
Oddly enough.
Well, lamp is definitely sequence broken by now, but flute can still be a sequence break.
I have a feeling they'll probably find the mirror or the lamp or the flute very soon because this seed is just that generous.
SirBeaterOfArse is in the turtle room.
But yes, it looks like it's going well for both runners.
Looks like SirBeaterOfArse just got lost.
Not so good for him then. So, lost, it looked like he elected to do a save and quit. I guess we won't be getting that pod full clear right now. But that is one of the trickier, like, the dark rooms in there are pretty tricky. Meanwhile, I think we're getting a Frog World Tour at least. Always fun to see the frog be dragged over to all around these weird locations.
Ah, hammer pegs. So much easier when you have the boots.
Indeed. Well, everything's easier with the boots. And faster.
You got that right.
Unfortunately, all that effort on the hammer pegs didn't really pan out well.
There's our sword. Vanilla location.
Well, that's different. The smiths actually smithed us up a nice handy sword.
For once.
That just makes me wonder where you're gonna find that master sword.
On Mothula?
Fighter sword mafia. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Neither would I. But they have the hammer, so it's fine. And they have the fire rod, so it's fine. Hey, I've seen Fighter Sword Trinex before.
That sounds awful.
Pet Dream is dead.
Rest in peace, Pet Dream. Rest in peace.
Where did they find Flute?
That is a good question, but it just makes you wonder what this seed... and there's a shovel, too, which could lead to something else.
Flute was digging game, which was accessible without Death Mountain. The lantern's flute locked.
Incredible.
Flute was indeed our Death Mountain.
Oh, and it looks like everything's just continuing to pan out for these runners, no matter what they do. That said, they have gone on wildly divergent paths for the time being. Where do you think our runners will go now?
There's our mirror.
Hooray!
You know what that opens?
Pretty much everything.
Well, the only thing it really had to open was Mire. Wait, no, Swamp. Sorry,
I was about
Swamp.
to say.
Yeah, Swamp, my bad. Wait, yeah, Swamp. Well, the only items we're missing now are Ice Rod, Lamp, Master Sword.
So we're 3 items away from Gilmo.
So much for that. Lamp is here.
Which means that Lamp was technically like why? Why is
Lamp
this
was
sequence
flute locked and hook shot locked and pearl locked.
Wow. Just because it can be, more or less. SirBeaterOfArse stocking up on that delicious blue goo. You know, it's been a while since either player's gone a crystal. You know, this is actually the first seed I've seen where one of the mail upgrades has been on pencil.
Well, we know they're not going to go for that.
I would because I'm bad at the game, but
I am also bad at the game, but we know our runners aren't going to go for that.
you know, like, who needs fashionable new clothes? Their current selection of characters is more than sufficient. I know one's Terra from Final Fantasy VI, but I don't actually recognize Dawn's sprite choice.
Is this even randomized?
Nah, can't be at this point.
I'm pretty sure Moldorm just had a heart container. Is this randomized or is this not randomized?
Let's see. Like, they're basically on the verge of go mode. And SirBeaterOfArse is going to be fighting Mafia with the fighter sword. Not a fun fight. It's not even a fun fight when you have the butter sword. SirBeaterOfArse proves that he is quite skilled by taking down Mafia with too much difficulty, it looked like. Now this is starting to look like the pace that I'm used to, like getting another crystal at 58 minutes.
Yeah, but they're pretty much in go mode almost, except for the ice rod. The most trolly thing we can have now is that the ice rod is in desert, to be honest.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
Which could force a Turtle Rock double dip if boots are in Turtle Rock.
It's possible.
But the lamp's probably in Mire, honestly. And SirBeaterOfArse is probably going to find no silver soon and realize that desert is boots locked. Or he's going to ignore desert for the time being. That works too.
I really hope those boots are in some sort of an out-of-the-way location.
They gotta be at this point.
Otherwise, we just have a jet seed.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's nice to see really fast gameplay sometimes.
I'm not sure whether to say this is the most interesting seed or the least interesting seed.
Good, bro.
I mean, the lamp was pretty well locked, but we sequence broke most of that. Everything else was just straightforward.
There's nothing wrong with a straightforward seed. It looks like they both read the logic pretty well and managed to anticipate where they needed to go. The silvers are so nice to have going into bot, however.
Helmasaur better not have boots / ice rod. Or Master Sword. That would not be something I'd really want to see right now, seeing Helmasaur, that even more progression.
That would be Ice Rod would be interesting.
Ice Rod would be a Schrodinger's Go mode. Minus Master Sword.
Unfortunately, maybe they managed to acquire all the items before killing Helmsor.
Their tracker says they did.
Well, that's good then. Allosaur did not provide additional progression. Not that they need very much now.
They're gonna save Skullwoods for last.
Would be a decent play.
They already cleared it. There's no items left in Skullwoods for them. All they have left is to kill Moth.
So at this point, they need maybe the boots and the ice rod, and they're good to go. And we're only an hour and 9 minutes in. Like, that's incredible. I dare say this might be the fastest seed so far in the tournament. Well, looks like Dawn decided to get a change of clothing. That's always good. It's it. Like, the males are a good safety item, I guess. And if they're easy to access, well, why not, right? Good old Ice Palace. Fun for absolutely no one except these penguin monsters. Like, out of all the dungeons, I would say that Ice Palace and Misery Mire are amongst my least favorite ones. That said, Go Mode Ice Palace is one of the best in the game, no matter what. Because you get to skip literally, like, a good half of it at least. Unfortunately, Dawn does not have that luxury. They will have to search every bit of it until they find all the items. Yes, I, for one, cannot tell who is necessarily in the lead in this scenario right now. It could still be anyone's race, and that's what makes this truly exciting. Usually when racers take two different routes, there's usually one that has, like, a clear advantage over the other. But in this case, it's actually kind of hard to tell. Like, this seat's keeping me on the edge of my seat. And I hope everyone's watching carefully, because it feels like they just got so many cool things that now it's exciting if they find what they need, because they only need one or two key items. They got everything in like the first 30-40 minutes, and now they just Need the ice rod, really. Boots might not even be necessary. That's always disappointing to see a little key in the big chest.
Would you rather see a map in the big chest?
I'd rather see an item.
Well, there's only 3 items we're looking for right now. Boots, ice rod, and master sword.
Yeah, I forgot about the master sword. Yeah, it's easy to forget about the sword that kills Ganon. It doesn't even do that.
It's okay. You only can't beat the game without it.
It doesn't even kill Ganon. Use the silver arrows for that. Unless you're really good. Or, you know, like practice silver or less for a few hours. You know, it looks like SirBeaterOfArse is having a little bit of a slow fight.
Where did that master sword come from?
Wait, there's a master sword?
Yeah.
Wait, when did SirBeaterOfArse get that? I swear, I had a connection hiccup for 2 seconds, and suddenly someone has a master sword.
Yeah, me too.
Now, SirBeaterOfArse is on the edge of go mode then. Assuming boots aren't necessary somehow.
Well, there's only 2 item locations that can get them with the boots.
Their odds are pretty good of a boot last seen.
Yeah, the only item locations that can get them with the boots is if the one remaining item in desert is the ice rod, or if GT Big Key is on Bob's torch.
So again, that there's like 200 something item locations in the game, the odds are pretty good then.
Yep. There's only 2 items that can possibly do that, and those are those 2.
Of course, the boots are nice to have regardless of how many items they can get.
Of course, I forgot that mushroom could possibly be a fetch quest, so 3 items, where the fetch quest could have the ice rod. But nonetheless, the only scenarios are ice rod from desert and GT Big Key on Bob's torch.
Oh, chat just pointed out that there is a couple bonk rock locations. There's one near the sanctuary, actually. So
True,
that would be a
bonk
third
rocks,
location.
yeah.
That's
And
a
those
third
can also
location.
have ice rod. I totally forgot about those for a second.
So a 3 in like 100 chance at this point, basically, based on how many spots I've checked.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and there's King's Tomb as well, so that's a 4th location.
Yep, 4 locations.
Still pretty good odds, really, of not needing them. Of course, the way this seed is going, it's pretty likely they will be necessary. Like, the seed has to have something to slow these guys down, right? Also, there is also that chance that Salt Shaker could have the Ice Rod, and it's just waiting for that green pennant to be turned in.
Sinek, that would still be a desert lock, and that would still be a boots lock, and therefore it would still be the exact same situation we have before.
Which would be funny.
Yeah, it would be the exact same scenario as we have before, so we don't even have to count any extra for that. Yeah, because the green pendant is at desert, salad shooter would count as the exact same scenario as if it were in desert. It just means that we have one more item location from desert.
That's nice at desert to have an extra item location.
Yeah, I mean, it increases the odds of a boots lock a little bit. So far, what are we at? Like 6% boots lock?
I'm sure that's mathematically accurate.
Alright, 6% boots lock. I'm hoping for it. While everyone's just retracing each other's steps, I'd like to say, give these runners a follow. They work extremely hard to give a good show for us to watch.
Yes, they're definitely entertaining us quite sufficiently. And potentially frustrating a few watchers with how good this seed has been, relatively speaking. But yeah, everyone better be entertained because someone in chat is using all caps, and that means they're being serious. At this point, I'd still like to see them find Tempered Sword as well, just to make Ganon a little faster. So, with the remaining item locations, where do you think the boots will end up? Since I have a feeling Green Pen's going to lead to Ice Road.
I'm honestly hoping that the boots are on Laser Bridge. That's honestly the most out-of-the-way location that the boots can be in right now. And no, Maximus, we are not entertained. Caesar puts you to death.
And according to me, looking it up in my tracker real quick, Ice Palace has 3 items in it. Which still puts it pretty low on the list for a Dark World dungeon of acquirable items. Still not as bad as Misery Mire, which only has 2, however. That is actually a good question. I don't recognize the sprite for Dawn. Like, do you know what it is?
Is that the girl from BS Zelda Ancient Stone Tablets?
No, it's not. I've played
Who
that.
is it?
Your guess would be as good as mine. At least SirBeaterOfArse, this is easy to recognize. I think a lot of people play Final Fantasy VI.
Apparently that is Unica Tova from YS Origins.
I would explain it. I own that game, but I've actually never played it. Meanwhile, looks like by chance both players are in the same dungeon. That hasn't happened in a while. Worse, in my opinion, this is the worst dungeon in the game. I always get lost in it and then get frustrated, and
Many
Then I
people
lose a
hate
lot
this
of
dungeon,
time.
myself included.
It only has 2 measly items. Silvers were in the one accessible chest right now in Desert. Admittedly, I'm kind of hoping they find progression soon, just so we can be all excited. Ah, there's the boots. We've been looking for
Close
those.
enough. They're in mire. Although that was not out of the way.
Yeah, that was like a mild inconvenience at worst. Well, now they can go to Desert to get the one item there, which is likely to be Ice Rod, but not 100%. But yes, boots. An hour and a half in, we finally have some new shoes. But yeah, if the Ice Rod is not in a boots location, then they were unnecessary to find, ironically enough. They speed up the run, but that's all they do right now. Where is SirBeaterOfArse going? Don't they need to beat that dungeon?
Are they missing something? It doesn't look like it.
Like, they should have full access to the boss. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
That's definitely something to ask them later.
Yes, I am one confused commentator. Unless he's just that curious about what could be here. But surely he could have beat Mr. Meyer first. No. Finally get to see. Ah, it's a regular key that was causing the lock. And he's finally going to pick up his silvers. I bet he'll be happy to see those, because no one wants to do Ganon silverless.
No one wants to do Vidi silverless, even though you're supposed to do it in the vanilla game.
Maybe that's what he left for, to see if he could like quickly go find silver somewhere.
Silvers. The one item you can never use on Vidi in the vanilla game. And the one item in the rando that everybody wants for Vidi.
Yeah, it's actually amazing how many bosses the silvers just completely destroy.
Did he check the big chest?
There's 2 item locations. He didn't have to.
Uh-huh.
There was 20 rupees in. He found 20 rupees in one of the chests. You know, with the silvers. Like, that's a key part of thing to think. Like, you gotta keep track of how many items you find so you can go, oh, I found them all. I don't have to check any more boxes. I can just go straight to the boss or leave. And sometimes that can be kind of hard to keep straight in the head. Yeah, the silvers make short work of pretty much almost every boss in the game. Of course, one question remains. Where the heck is the ice rod? But yeah, at this point, I would dare say that Dawn has a small lead. They're ahead on the crystal, but SirBeaterOfArse is right on their, or like they're following right behind them. And no, neither of them have checked green pendant because neither of them have the green pendant. So that makes checking.
I don't think they want to check it yet because if they check it and it's nothing, then they've wasted time.
And not a small chunk of it either.
I mean, it's just fighting Landmos.
At least they don't have to deal with just the cannon bombs.
If SirBeaterOfArse went now, he would have Landmos beaten within 2 minutes.
Oh, it's using the mirror. But that's only just to flute out. I got a feeling. Send the pod. Finish that up. Get some revenge on those dark rooms that foiled them the first time. Dawn should have an easier time against Mafia here, due to a slightly better arsenal of, you know, not a fighter's sword.
The only places the ice rod can be are Turtle Rock and Sassuolo.
Wow. Well, the odds are in Turtle Rock's favor with, like, a lot more item locations. Turtle Rock has 5 after all. 6 if you count the Mimic Cave.
Hold on, did either of our runners clear out Tower of Hera?
I never seen either go to the basement. But there's only a couple items in Tower of Hera. They might have gotten both.
Dawn doesn't have both marked on their own tracker, so I don't think they got both.
Intriguing. Ice Rod could be in like a bomb drop location too, like Dawn's checking right now. But it's not. The number of locations are dwindling one by one. Of course, they might still not be in go mode even if they find the ice rod, because they might need that medallion they're missing.
Why would they need it?
To get into Turtle Rock.
Doesn't the tracker say it's bombos?
No, it doesn't say on the trackers I can see on stream, at least.
That's just mixer quality. The stream on Twitch says bombos.
Ah. Curse my poor vision. Oh, I guess it's just Ice Rod then. But knowing this seed, they'll probably find the other medallion anyways.
They had to walk past Turtle Rock in order to get to Tower of Hera.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So after they did Turtle Rock, they did a Dark Death Mountain, and that got them the... Well, after they checked Terra, they did a Turtle Rock check when they were doing Dark Death Mountain.
I'll be honest, I didn't know you could bring purple chest down there. Learning so much this seed. And yeah, that's kind of what we're kind of predicting now, that it'd be green pendant. Of course, it could also be in Tower Hera's basement. And yes, we are down to a very scant few locations where that ice rod could be located. Oh, we're going the Turtle Rock. Of all the possible plays, this might be the best overall one because that'll give access to 6 possible item locations. And yes, Pedestal Dream died a very, very long time ago, Bagel. Ooh, and SirBeaterOfArse takes a tumble down the hole.
Troll don't count.
It's probably 1 because I actually forget how Dawn's fight went. No, Dawn never fought. They just grabbed a few. Oh, wait, yes, they did. Never mind me. I assume it went well enough that they beat the boss. Oddly enough, SirBeaterOfArse does better with a more clumsy weapon.
Hammer on Moldorm. Always fun.
Indeed.
Moldorm being one of the easier bosses to fight with the hammer.
Indeed. Yeah. The thing, over an hour ago, we were like, oh, this scene be done fast.
Yeah, the scene was fairly linear, but it's not done fast.
Well, now it's doing a mean trick of where the heck's the ice rod.
We were expecting Ice Rod to be the go mode item.
Well, either that or boots.
Well, Boots couldn't itself be the go mode item, but we were expecting Boots to lock something, which it did not, as far as we know.
Unfortunately.
Well, it still could be locking it. If the green pendant is Ice Rod, then yes, Boots was a go mode item.
What's SirBeaterOfArse is just standing there?
Is SirBeaterOfArse soft locked?
I hope not. That would be upsetting.
Nope.
Maybe you just had to take care of something real quick.
That happens.
You can't be racing all the time. Sometimes you gotta take a quick break. Oh, well,
I
it's
mean,
not
that
an
is
ice
called
rod.
coffee break room for a reason.
It wasn't an ice rod, but it was a sword upgrade, which I imagine he'll appreciate going into Ganon.
It's called coffee break room for a reason. Must have gone for a coffee break.
Yeah, I keep enough drinks for like 4 hours around me when I race.
Yeah,
Just in
me too.
case. If it takes longer than that, then I'll take a little break. And once again, our players are going to be in the same location. Or at least the same dungeon. Like, this hasn't happened very often. Like, they just went in 2 separate directions and are only really now starting to really convene. Notice that little spin SirBeaterOfArse did. It's always nice to do a little spin on those platforms. Have some fun. what does Mimic Cave have for us? Explosives! Those are good to find, but not in this situation. Or this late into the run. Oh, I called it. They did find the other medallion.
You did call that for sure.
But still not what they need. Sure, the ether can freeze things, so it's not going to help against Trinex. Oddly enough, the medallions might be amongst the most useless items in the game, depending on the seed. Because, like, the bosses ignore them. They're not even situationally useful against anything else. The only boss they're affected by is Cold Stare to break him out of his ice.
Moment of truth, y'all. Are we in go mode?
Or is there going to be a hunt for that last item? Three more chests in this location. We are not in go mode.
Alright, it's gotta be on the green pendant then, most likely.
Yeah, I'm just racking my brain here, trying to think of what item locations are left, and that is about it. It looks like Dawn has figured out what to try, or maybe not. Then again, have either of them been to Catfish?
I'm not sure.
I don't think they have, so Catfish could be a play as well. Not that Dawn's heading that way, but...
Dawn looks like they're gonna do desert.
Taking a bit of a weird route to desert, but...
Yeah, because I guess they want to check.
They might want to check... It never hurts to check the tablet if it's on the way. Unfortunately,
No,
the ancients felt like putting $20 in all their tablets. Oh, they're not.
Oh no, they're
desert.
not checking desert.
No, they could be. They could be preparing to go to Catfish. That's the only other play I could think of at this point.
Well, we called this from the beginning, since about 10 minutes into the seed, what could be the trolling item.
Yep, and it seems like the Ice Rod has elected to troll us today. And it's about the troll SirBeaterOfArse. Yep, it looks like we're getting that Catfish check. Or pyramid. Oh yeah, Dawn never wandered this way, did they? It's always nice to see the super speed bug in action. It's very nice. I'm kind of hoping it's a Catfish at this point, because it would be nice to, you know, see them finally get that last progression item. But if it's not here, then it has to be green pendant. Yeah, Fat Fairy is super dead. Unfortunately, for many a reason. Oh, there's the ice rod.
It was on Catfish the whole time.
Catfish just wanted to stop the ice fishers, clearly.
So, you're saying we could have had the ice rod an hour ago?
Yes, we could have had it over.
God! It's not so bad. It's not like it's been trolling us for an hour and it's been right in front of our faces. Oh wait, it was. God! Well, press F to pay respects, but at 1 hour and 53 minutes, Dawnvenure is in go mode.
But yeah, this jet Sedum, it crashed and burned, unfortunately. And ironically enough, SirBeaterOfArse is making the same search pattern that Dawn used. But yeah, it seems like I was starting to wonder or if they had checked Catfish, and that turned out to be the key to this. But inversely, Catfish is extremely out of the way. Like, I can understand saving that for later. But yes, in a couple minutes, probably Dawn will get to try next and hopefully win. That said, SirBeaterOfArse isn't beaten yet. He does have a superior sword. And that could make all the difference.
But remember, SirBeaterOfArse is still looking for that ice rod.
And looking in a number of odd locations. Oh no. They think it's green pendant, don't they?
They also haven't started Turtle Rock.
Yes, they have. They've been through Turtle Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Like, once they find the ice rod, they can go straight through. Everything will be opened up, and they won't have to search anything else to find keys or anything. I guess we get to find out what green pendant's item is, don't we? But it's probably like a mushroom or something silly.
Probably mushrooms.
Yeah, just to continue the chain of hope for it to be crushed.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be mushrooms.
And hey, sometimes commentary can forget that a fish that gets hit with a skull gives items sometimes. Sure, I guess you could toss a bush at Catfish too to get an item, so... Oh no. SirBeaterOfArse is unfortunately not going to find the item that he is seeking. And unfortunately, the Molus is not 100% cooperating with him either.
It looks like Beater is just giving up and doing sword strats.
The tempered sword's not a bad weapon against them, so.
Or they can use Fire Rod.
Meanwhile, Dawn is slowly chipping away at Trinex here. The menuing swapping does lengthen the fight a little bit, unfortunately. Yes, here comes Trinex. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Dawn knows about the quick kill strat to use against Trinex, where when he initially comes out, his head is vulnerable to attack. Meaning, if you can hit him enough times, you can kill him before his middle starts flashing. Alrighty. I think everyone knows what time it is now, actually. Since we're coming up on Ganon's Tower. There are 22 possible locations for the big key there. And I think it's time for people to start guessing at which of those locations will hold the big key. Personally, I'm going to guess 1. Because after that struggle to find the ice rod, our runners need a little break.
I want to guess 3.
Alright. Seems like you're sharing that guess with Gibbles there in chat.
Looks like it.
And it looks like Beater's in Thieves Town. Unfortunately, Blind did not steal the ice rod. Well, it wasn't 1 or 2. Nor is it at 3.
Both of our runners are probably so anxious right now, thinking that they're about to lose.
Their timers are at 2 hours. They must both be thinking they're behind. A regular key. They will. Dawn will be not wanting for regular keys, at least. Eight items in and still no big key. Oh, there's the mushroom. So that's now 9 whole locations. that 4 chest room also not giving up that big key. Ganon's Tower is being very stubborn today about its location. Well, we're well over half the chest now, and the big key's still somewhere. But where could it be? The silver arrow has allowed them to get pretty good revenge against their first Armo sites not going too well.
Is it going to be in tile room?
Probably.
Damn you, tile room!
Like, they're almost out of item. I think Okay, I might have slightly lost track of the items checked. Ah, there it is. In what number was that? Fudge. I lost track of how many chests were open.
It was 18.
Okay. Which no one guessed, unfortunately. But that's okay. What matters is the fun of the game.
So the closest guess was by Buddha Claus.
Someone guessed exclamation mark 19, which I'm going to assume they meant 19, so Macho King was also close. Just one above.
Yeah, but Macho King posted after the guessing
That's
started.
true. Oh. And if you go over, you lose. That's how the Price is Right works, so that's how this can work too.
Yep. So congratulations, Buddha Claus. While we do not have a bot on this network, you do win.
Yes, you win. You win nothing, but our congratulations. Our congratulations are non-transferable and are worth nothing in terms of monetary value.
You win our love and affection, which is also
Yes.
worth nothing.
But yes. Dawn also found the tempered. So, like, they took a moment to open a couple more chests and found it after they found the big key, which is always a wise move. Even if you find it immediately, if there's chests you can get to in a few seconds, you might as well just open them up to see if you can find something handy. A little too soon on the silvers, but I've always found this boss, the Limos, to be kind of a hard read to figure out what you need to be doing to succeed. I guess SirBeaterOfArse's consolation prize is that they'll have the better sword, at least. Should they not forfeit upon loss. Since they would likely check all the chests as well.
I sure hope they wouldn't forfeit upon loss. They're so close to finish.
Yeah, like, there's no point ever truly forfeiting. You might as well complete no matter what.
If your opponent is done and you got 2 crystals, that's a reason you might want to forfeit. But
yeah. Or if
you're
power
already
goes
in
out,
Ganon's tower, there's no reason to forfeit.
or if your power goes out or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, like that's actually kind of a rule to have for myself, that unless I'm so hopelessly behind, it would probably take me like 2 hours to even catch up. Or if my power goes out or something, I'm not going to forfeit.
Yeah, if you have 2
it's good
crystals and your
practice.
opponent is done, you'll probably want to forfeit, though.
Yeah. Little Troll Troll Dawnvenure? Nope. The tempered sword cuts through that boss pretty effortlessly. Oh, the last chest in the game has been opened. And all I had was a silly compass.
Moldorm's last possessions are worth nothing.
Yeah, Dawn already knows where they have to go. They don't need a compass to tell them that.
All they know is it's time to fight the big pig.
Of course, they have to get through his wizardy self. And that was a nice double on Dawn's
get
part.
through the triple wizard and then fight the big pig, whatever.
Well, technically they're one and the same, I think.
Yeah,
My knowledge of
they're
this
one
game's
and the
story is a
same.
little rusty.
Yeah, and the bat in the half magic is also Ganon.
Everyone is Ganon.
Everyone is Ganon.
Even you people watching are Ganon.
But that is the half magic bat. Ganon gives you the half magic.
He just wants to play fair. Well, here we are. The final battle.
Yes, Picolax, you are Ganon. And I am Ganon, and we're all Ganon.
And apparently, if we don't join Ganon, we're all gonna die.
Yep.
Our face, but if we do join him, our face becomes the greatest in the Dark World. Tempting choice. Half magic is pretty much broken on Ganon here, because you can become invincible and not have to really worry about your magic count all that much. Well, SirBeaterOfArse is making a valiant effort. If only they knew the big key was the other way. Oh, no torch glitch, unfortunately.
That's okay, they have silvers.
This is true.
Two hits down.
Oh, just a frame too late on that one hit, but it looks like
And down
Ganon's
goes
defeated.
Ganon.
Well, Dawn hasn't won yet. They still have to walk through the door successfully.
We have definitely seen problems with that in the past.
Yeah, I believe there was one run where the little ramp didn't drop and someone fell for some reason.
The ramp didn't drop and someone lost because they didn't get to Ganon. And Dawn's official SRTV time is 2 hours, 13 minutes flat.
Wow. Wow, that was a hell of a run with that fake out jet seed. But yes,
What a fake out.
We will see if we can get Dawn in here for an interview. Hopefully they'll be able to join us, because I really want at least one of them to join us. I want to know their thoughts about this seed. In literally the worst way. Oh, SirBeaterOfArse decided to abuse the chest a little bit.
And we have Dawn here with us.
Congratulations on your win, Dawn.
Thank you, thank you.
I gotta ask what your thoughts were on this entire seed.
Well, first, having to farm money for progression was not what I was expecting. But then, like, the whole time I was thinking I was behind, because after I was farming up the rupees off the bush crab, once I remembered that the bush crab dropped 20s, I immediately went to Zora, and then at that point, I'm like, okay, got Dark World access, go straight to, like, Thieves Town, and instead of... What I should have done was check Pedestal first to see what it was, and I checked it after completing Pendant Thieves Town, so I kind of felt behind from there.
Yeah. It just seems that, like, I forget what I was going to say, my brain kind of...
SirBeaterOfArse just skipped Butter Sword.
Oh no. Like, SirBeaterOfArse actually found the Tempered Sword not in GT, so they could have had the Butter Sword.
They just skipped it. They got 3 out of the 4 chests and literally skipped the one with the Butter Sword.
That's
So
kind of
what was
funny.
the other sword upgrade? The one that I didn't get?
Where the heck was that? This seed's been so baffling that I'm kind of forgetting where stuff was found.
Yeah, what'd you think about this fake out jet seed?
Yeah,
Well, I didn't think it was that fast, honestly.
It-
Started out fast.
real fast. Until you had to grind for money.
Oh yeah, like, getting the escape was just insane, but like after that, it was just like, you need to find this item, you need to find that item. And
you found-
having a double dip Turtle Rock was like, so nerve-wracking.
I know, like, you must have felt like you were behind the entire time.
And then
That
like,
sequence break with the lamp was like a 5-layer deep sequence break.
Yeah, like,
That was a
You and
5-sphere sequence break.
you and SirBeaterOfArse largely made the same decisions. Just at one point he fell a little behind.
like the other time I felt behind, like I'm really like superstitious when it comes to dungeons and what's in them. Like in Tower of Hera, finding the big key, you know, that's nice right away. You don't have to go to the basement. Then finding the map in the second chest made me like think to myself, Tower of Hera is a bust, I should just leave immediately. And I kind of stuck around. Like, I'm already this deep, I'm just gonna get at least one item then leave.
Yeah. I guess in the end this wasn't really truly a jet seed, but it started out as a kind of quick progression, and then it just, you hit that wall of where you just needed 2 or 3 more things.
Yeah, for me, the thing I was worrying about was where Ice Rod was.
seemed like Catfish just felt like having it for some reason.
Like normally, I go check Catfish right away, like around when I'm doing pod. But because I had the flute, I chose to just flute into pod and just leave from there. And then I was thinking of like dipping Mire early as well, but I hate double dipping dungeons so much. And then once I found the boots there, I'm like, there's a really real possibility that he came here before I did, so I'll be even more behind if he has the boots.
Yeah, like it was an incredible showing at least. I'm really curious, and your item collection rate is probably going to be very high.
Yeah, I think there was only like one overworld location that I didn't check before even checking Catfish. And that'd be the Spike Cave.
Oh, we didn't see the Spike Cave this room. It probably only has like bombs or something silly anyways.
I think Spike Cave was actually bombed, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think SirBeaterOfArse went that way.
Yeah, I think it was actually bombed.
Uh-oh. SirBeaterOfArse forgot to get the key from the mini Helmosaurs.
Oh no.
Well, I guess at this point, a little bit of forgetfulness is easily forgiven.
It's okay.
First sword, 45 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable doing things swordless and with just fighter sword. Seeing as how my last race, I couldn't find the master forever, so... Once I found that half magic, I was a little more confident heading into dungeons. So I just cleaned up all the dungeons I can, then it was just... Where's that ice rod?
181 locations checked. That's pretty close to 100%ing this seed.
And SirBeaterOfArse's count is probably going to be larger than that because they checked Desert. And
Thieves
Era.
Town.
And Thieves Town.
I think that was a triple there. But yeah, this tournament has just been proven to be full of surprises with the seeds.
This tournament has actually shown us a lot of things that V29 can be much more evil about than V28 was.
It's like, this has been an incredibly evil version.
Yep. And it's all because of how the randomizer was implemented. The randomizer used to be that one set was in a fixed order and the other one was in a random order. Now both items and locations are both in a random order. If you can place this item there, do it. Otherwise, don't do it.
It seems like it has gone a bit more of an overworld focus. Which
yep,
is
and that happened from shuffling the item locations. So you had it that item locations are all weighted equally, and if you can access an item location, given all the other items that were currently placed within logic, in the worst case scenario of using keys, that item location is where the next one goes, rather than the item locations being in a fixed order and just iterating over them in a loop.
I guess that would make it faster as well to generate a seed.
Yeah, according to what I've heard also, the randomizer works in a one or fail fashion. So basically, if it doesn't get it on the first try, it just fails try again. If it finds one item it can't place based on the logic that it generated, it just says try again, we can't generate the seed.
Yeah, I really feel that V29 has actually like caused me just in my practice to have a lot more sub 2s. Whether that or like doing standard modes instead of opens. But yeah, it does feel a bit faster now than it was previously.
Standard instead of open wouldn't increase your PB by that much.
But it does ensure you a weapon, so...
Yeah, it
can
does
speed
ensure
up
you
the
a weapon, but it wouldn't increase it by that much. Because let's say you had an open seed where you start off with a weapon in your first 5 minutes. What's the difference?
True. But I think Dawn is correct. It does feel a little faster now. Maybe just how the items are distributed.
Yeah,
Like,
the
you
items are
find what you need
distributed
faster.
evenly now.
Meanwhile, we completely missed that SirBeaterOfArse actually claimed victory.
Yep, SirBeaterOfArse finished SRTV time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Not quite as even as Dawn's time, but it's a good time for a trolley seed. I think we'll see if we can get him in here as well for a nice interview. As I was saying before we pulled you in, Dawn, I was very interested to hear you both of your thoughts on this seed, and hopefully I will get my wish. Yep. And greetings, SirBeaterOfArse.
Hey, how about that seed, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely a seed. One of the billions of possibilities.
I got so tilted by running out of bombs in Mire, I don't even know what happened at the end of the game.
Oh, that's why you left. I was wondering about that. I was trying to figure out why you dipped for a moment.
Yeah, so in Ice Palace, in the Pengator room, I did the bomb strat there to drop the 2 bombs and then, hookshot it around them. And I made a note that I was out of bombs and I needed to go to the store quick to pick some up before I went to the next dungeon. And then I didn't. So I got to that room where you need to bomb that wall in Mire, and I just was like, there's a giant hole in my inventory. That's not good.
And plus a quick stop to the convenience store was in order.
Yeah, that would have saved me some time and then saved me some tilt. So I don't think that helped much.
But you probably got a little bit more tilt with that ice rod location.
Yeah, that wasn't great. I feel like I might have done a better job of checking that if I wasn't just already out of my mind a little bit, but that was a pretty awful spot for it.
So, just add a little bit to tilt. You skipped the butter sword in Ganon's Tower. It was in the last chest you didn't check in that one room.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it didn't really matter much, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That kind of seed for me.
It happens.
Yeah,
That it does.
Seems like this tournament has had quite a few trolley seeds. It's still not as bad as that one I seen the other day where the runners had to use the cane and bombs to defeat Lemolas in Desert.
Oof, that's a rough one.
So how did you like that bottleneck for the farming money for Zora?
He used a different farming method. He used the land room glitch to get sufficient funds.
Yeah, the way with Eastern being so early, and I knew I'd hit the rupees in that because I had the fire rod and the bow already, so I knew I was going to do that before I did like the South Hyrule stuff. So I figured as soon as I looked, I didn't have flippers because I made that mistake in my last race. Like, all right, let's just do Houlihan and we'll guaranteed to have the 500 and we can just do that all at once.
Yeah, I ended up going into like Blind's Hut like 2 or 3 times, and I remembered that the bush crabs were dropping 20s.
Yeah, that would have been a good way to do it with the crabs.
But yes, both runs were quite impressive, actually. And it actually was quite the mental exercise for us commentators trying to figure out where the ice rod could be, like its possible locations.
We thought it was on Soda Fountain.
Yeah. But Salt Shaker had something, I guess. We don't know what. Probably bombs.
Something
Something
garbage.
silly. And the unknown hat sleeps again forever. I love those messages. They're the best.
I'm really interested to see how high my collection rate was on this because I feel like it's got to be about as close as reasonably possible to all of it.
Yeah, Dawn's was 181.
Well, I have to beat that.
Yeah, you checked. You checked literally everywhere.
I made sure I got the rest of the chests in Ganon's Tower to get it higher than I possibly could.
Yeah, at one point I was thinking, well, I'm probably really behind. I guess I can check Desert Palace maybe and just go and grab the red mail. But I decided to just skip doing that. Felt comfortable enough with blue.
Blue's plenty enough protection.
Yeah, it's not like we were really short on hearts. We got a pretty good supply early after Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, like we thought it was jet mode based on like the first 30 minutes, and we're fooled.
There's always that one item.
Yeah, once I saw Turtle Rock was a crystal, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be running around everywhere.
But yeah, there's a prediction of 195 items found. I wonder how close that'd be.
That seems pretty legit.
We just have to survive this somewhat long credit sequence.
I'd hit the fast forward button, but I think it would blow out some eardrums with headphones.
Well, your audio is not being used.
So well then. In that case, let's speed this up a little bit.
Well, like, this is supposed to be a speed run after all, right?
Speed credits. I have to be good for something, right? 186.
Wow. That's actually not that many more than Dawn.
Amazing.
A bit of a different ratio for your boss kills with swords as well. Like, Dawn's was more even, like 2 with the fighter sword, 3 with master sword, and Ledger. But yes, that was a good race, both of you. I look forward to your upcoming matches in week 3.
Yeah,
Is there any final thoughts you'd like to share with us?
Just GG and good luck next week.
Yeah, you too. Sure you can pull out of the 1-1 bracket, start working your way back up more. And thank you guys for commentating. I'm definitely going to rewatch this after.
This was definitely some race to commentate.
Yes. Do you have any final words, Yaniman?
No, I do not.
I'd like to thank everyone for watching, as well as our runners. Without them, this would be completely impossible, as well as our excellent tracker and restreamer. And if you enjoyed the runners, do follow them. I'm sure they would appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you in another race.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.